Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your HIMediaTV news update. I am your host, and today, from NPR by Carrie Johnson, judge dismisses documents case, specifically the Trump documents case, over the special counsel appointment. The superseding indictment is dismissed because special counsel Smith's appointment violates the Appointments Clause of the United States Constitution. None of the statutes cited as legal authority for the appointment gives the Attorney General broad and inferior officer appointing power or bestows upon him the right to appoint a federal officer with the kind of prosecutorial power wielded by the special counsel Smith, nor do the special counsel's strained statutory arguments, appeals to inconsistent history, or reliance on out-of-circuit authority persuade otherwise. To be clear, her opinion closely tracked the reasoning outlined by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court Justice who is currently having impeachment inquiries called into him because of because of the last 20 years of bribes being given to him by large conservative donors. And she basically mirrored the take of Clarence Thomas that he had in a recent concurrence in a separate case against Trump. So normally I would just give my opinion on this, some of my insight and analytical looks at it. I want to talk a little bit about the judge here, Annalene Cannon. She was she's from Florida. She has a very, very generally normal prosecutorial history. And she was made a judge in the state circuit, in one of the state circuits in Florida, until Marco Rubio, when Marco Rubio put her up for being a state judge, and was also subsequently one of Trump's appointees. So let's talk about some of her past cases here. The bar is in hell, and the bar is not enabling child predators to get off light. So thankfully she clears that. Unfortunately, back in 2020, she was appointed in 2020 by Donald Trump. In the summer of 2020, my apologies. Some of the notable cases she did was in 2021. She essentially used something called the Helms-Burton Act. Helms-Burton Act in this case is a law which uses the embargo of Cuba, is basically the embargo of Cuba. And there's a Swiss cement company called Lafarge-Holcim, and forced them to reach a settlement to compensate an American family under the Helms-Burton Act. This American family had claims to property in Cuba that was taken over by the Cuban government during the revolution decades and decades and decades ago. And so the cement company was supposed to compensate this family. I want to remind everybody that the families that owned property in Cuba were slave owners. So these are people who were forced out, who left the country because they didn't like the idea of not being able to be rich slave owners anymore. So remember that. So, and also they're ruling on property in a separate country that there is not jurisdiction in. So Cannon ordered the cement company to reach a settlement. The second thing is and the second notable one is that is of concern is one of Paul Vernon Hofer, a 60-year-old man from Palm Beach Gardens who pled guilty to making death threats against three prominent Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, AOC, and prosecutor Kim Foxx, with federal sentencing guidelines recommending 33 to 41 months in prison. She lowballed him down to 18 months and then 3 years of supervised release. She also just fined him $2,000. And lastly, the other thing is that while in the United States versus Carver, she presided over a complex multi-defendant healthcare fraud case. By and large, there's nothing. The only thing I really can extrapolate from this is she has a propensity to side with. She has a bias towards prosecutors, probably because of a history of being, probably due to a history of being, what's it called, a prosecutor herself before she became a judge. So the fact that she was more than happy to follow the most conservative and subsequently the most corrupt Supreme Court justice on the court in a case and use that justification as to why the person who gave her the job shouldn't be prosecuted, this has been dismissed. I would not be surprised if this gets appealed. But unfortunately, there is, I think, nothing that can be done. And that's a bummer, because this documents case was ostensibly a crime. The federal government, like the Library of Congress Archival Division, gave Trump, and the FBI gave Trump every single opportunity to give these back, and he didn't. And, you know, I think this paired with the recent ruling from the Supreme Court making the presidents and former presidents basically immune to almost any prosecution for acts done while in office, as well as the choices of Project 2025 being a thing. I think this is just another nail in what could possibly be the coffin of our democracy. And I hate to be hyperbolic, but we're in a tight spot. We are in a tight spot. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at HIMedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.